Good morning. Welcome to Invertis Talk. Today we are here to study and to interact with a famous geologist researcher. Geology is a study of Earth and its movement and its 4.5 years of history. Today we have Professor Mahesh G. Thakkar, the geologist and a researcher who studies about Paleoscience and geographic. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So today I want to ask you, my first question is, what is the one thing which make you kept passionate about your study from MS to PhD at MS to Birbal Sahni Institute, to the director of the Birbal Sahni Institute? What kept you passionate about it?
Journey is very long. I was interested in architecture. Okay. My first passion was architecture, going to the School of Architecture. But because of my percentage, I could not get that admission in the School of Architecture. But then the other passion, which was to study the earth, study the atmosphere, study the mountains and the rivers. Okay. So for that I need to go definitely for the geology. So then I switch over my studies to geology. Earlier it was the physics, chemistry and geology. So then slowly and slowly, when you are deep into this subject, you love it slowly and slowly, and it is the journey is still long. First during my PG and UG, I used to go to the Himalayas. My dissertation work was in higher Himalayas, Kumaon Himalayas, and then I have seen the glaciers. It was so exciting. So it has instigated me 2 times, 10 times. Okay. So then I started studying the geomorphology systems, and when the entire geomorphic expressions which we see today, the Himalaya or Aravallis or the Nilgiris or any other mountains in the world, Atlas or Urals or Andes or Rockies, they are basically the result of several millions of earthquakes. So they are basically the part of the bottom of the sea, sediments they deposited, and they have uplifted to this level, 4,000 to 5,000 meter high. So it was so amazing in the beginning, but then for me, for the geologist, it is not amazing now, because we study it why it has happened. So then I started studying in the western part of India, and it is even more exciting. Western part of India is very active in terms of the tectonics. That is a Kutch, run of Kutch, and the small hills and hillocks of the Kutch. They are basically the part and parcel of the many earthquakes, many thousands of earthquakes. So as you mentioned that my core subject is geomorphology, but the geomorphology is basically controlled by the tectonics. So it is called tectonic geomorphology. So then I studied tectonic geomorphology, and the particular region where I studied is the haven in India for particularly active tectonic studies. So you can see the fault line, active fault line, and you can see the result of it 10,000 years back. What happened, you can see in front of your eyes. And even 10 years back, what has happened, some earthquake, and the signature of that earthquake is there. So then I worked on the past earthquakes. So today, in 2001 Bhuj earthquake, just 25 years back, there was a big earthquake that everybody knows, and some 20,000 people died. And after that, I have extensively worked on the earthquakes of the past and earthquakes which is right now striking in particular area.
Thank you, sir. So my next question is, as a head of department in your past time of Kutch University, what is you kept leading for the scientific community and studies?
As a head of the department, heading the department is basically heading some faculty members and a large group of students. It was my challenge to even form this department. Okay. Earlier, my vice chancellor didn't allow me to form this department, but then somehow I did it through some higher secretarial or ministerial influences, I could establish the department. The question comes that why I should go there and form the department, because the part of that landscape, Kutch region, is a small basin. So that basin is tectonically very active. That basin is climatically active. That basin is ecologically varied. That basin is environmentally varied, from marine to Gulf conditions, to the small hillock ecology, to the run ecology, to the sand dune ecology, to the coastal systems. Everything you get in a one small package. So it is a natural laboratory for any scientist, not only geologist, but ecologist, environmental scientist, marine scientist. This is a very small region, but it is a big laboratory. So this instigated me to propagate my science. Okay, our science is encompassing everything, so that I invited the scientists from all over the world, and they collaborated with me in a small university, very small university and very small department. But my Billy become bigger and bigger. I used to get almost 50 to 60 students in PG. Okay, it was my challenge. Earlier, my vice chancellor told that yes, you cannot have 10 students, or you cannot even 5 students in this department. But then now even today I am getting more than 200 applications. So this was a challenge, and scientists from almost many countries, US, Japan, China, everywhere, they are coming to study this particular region. So as you told, as a head, what I did. So then as a head, not administratively, but this is all academic things. Another thing I established there is a big museum, geological museum, that is one of its kind in the country. So people from all over the world, all over the country, they used to visit my geological museum, and that is, most of the specimens are collected in thousands. More than 20,000 specimens are there, collected by me and my students.
Thank you, sir. So you are an active person who study about neotectonics and active tectonics. So how do you explain people who are not geologists, or how do you monitor these people who don't understand geology much?
So this is the question. Actually, I answered it, that how we see the landscape, okay, in a common man's terminology. That is what the question is, okay.
So
because
about the people who don't understand geology, how you make them understand?
Okay, because for the common man, what is in front of their eyes? One is a river, okay. One is a plain region. One is a coastal region. One is a great run salt playa systems, or the salt deserts, or maybe sand dune systems, or maybe some hills. So for the common man, they can see this, but they cannot see inside. Okay, so I as a geologist, I as a neotectonic experts, I convince them that how it formed. Okay, simple thing, how this Himalaya form and how these small hills are formed. Okay, when you explain it, they will ask me the evidences. So the Kutch is the region where you can see the evidences just in front of your eyes. Not only geologists, but any common man who can, when I go with the common man, a big group of only tourists, they can themselves will say, yes, ye hai fault line. Aap samjhiye? Then other part, like you have a soil cover. You are getting that soil cover in some part, somewhere it is not there. Okay. So as a geologist, I would explain why soil is here only, why not here, why this is fertile, why this is not fertile. So this is the geological consequences, but it is actually being used by the common people, whether agriculturist, economist, they are using the soil. Okay, so I have to explain them, this soil is formed because of this black trap basalt, and because of that we are getting the Alfonso or Kesar mango, okay, or XYZ crop. Now this technology comes that I have to add some minerals, I have to add some elements there. So this is how we make the entire science and community aware about the geological aspects, tectonic aspects, and of course our technological aspects.
So as you talk about much about Kutch region, and you have done an extensive research on Kutch basins, what is the one thing which make it unique to research on that area, about the earthquake, about all the geologies?
The unique I have explained. The Kutch basin, a small basin where all system together you can study. If you are in a Ganga plain, where just now Bareilly and other part of the Ganga plain, if you are in Ganga plain, it's altogether different thing. When I explain the students in Ganga plain, it will be different, because the sediments coming from the Himalayan river, Ganga, Yamuna or Kosi or many other rivers, they come and debauch their sediments into this plain, okay, and it becomes a fertile land, okay. So I have to explain this, why it becomes fertile land. If I go down for several hundred meters, you get the same fertile alluvial soil, but this is not there. You got my point? Ki small region where you have 10 meter of or 1 meter of soil cover, and which is sandy soil of no use, okay. So even then it is very important, and tectonically it's very active. So I want to the people, I want to the Prashashan that you have to leave certain areas which is vulnerable and you cannot touch it, or for mega projects, even some power projects, even some infrastructural development, you just avoid this region. Anytime earthquake can strike to this area. So this is how our science interact with them, and this is a small model to study the entire hazard related system, climatic hazard, tectonic hazard. So that is why when you ask me about what is the specialty, right today, last 10 to 20 years of time, most of the hazard or disaster related models are now adopting the Kutch Bhuj model. That is the speciality of it. Even because I used to go to the NIDMA, the National Disaster Management Authority, many state disaster management authority, where they are using the same Bhuj model. How huge earthquake and huge havoc, huge disasters that has eradicated billions of worth properties and human life, okay. But how we came up within few years, we came up with jubilant colors, with technological development, industrial development, ecological development, taking their roots as a base of the development. That means we interacted with the common people and we never ever eradicated their roots. आपकी जो ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम है और आपकी जो कल्चर है, उनको निकाल के अगर हम बड़े स्ट्रक्चर बना देंगे तो ये नहीं होगा. इनके साथ इनको जैसे चाहिए था वैसा रिजिलियंट टेक्नोलॉजी बनाया. तो ये एक स्पेशलिटी है.
So as a director of Birbal Sahni of Institute of Paleoscience, what is the one thing in Paleoscience study which helps in our modern days life challenges?
That is very important questions. I used to talk to many of the institutes that how this Paleoscience, because you have to understand Paleoscience first. My institute, I came to this institute just 2.5 years back, okay, and the post is my deputed positions. Earlier I was in HOD in the Kutch University, so for 5 years this position is there with me, okay. The Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleosciences was earlier Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleobotany, and in last 1 decade, in 2016, it is now renamed as the Paleosciences. Earlier it was Paleo Botany. Botany means study of the plant fossils. That too, the Gondwana plant fossils or some big plant fossils, not a microfossils. So that study is now switched over to the microfossil studies, even foraminifers, even pollen studies, the carbon dating, that means geochronology, then isotope studies, because all proxies you cannot avoid. Because of the several proxies, along with the plant fossils, you can say something about the past climatic conditions. Past means few million years to few thousand years, or few hundred of thousand years, or few tens of years. So my scientists are working from the deep time, from the billions of years of the microfossils or cyanobacterial life to the skeletal life. Okay, so that 550 million years skeletal life started. So we have the group of scientists working in each domains, time domains. Okay, and that too microfossils to megafossils. So why we study the fossil? One thing, the fossil study is important to understand the past climatic conditions. Why do we study the past climate which happened 100 million years ago, which happened 100,000 million years ago? What is the use of it? The use of it, if your window is a closer, that means 1000 years or last 100 years, you can find out the cycle when this cycle is repeated. And the cycle is repeating, because in the last 500 million years we have 5 mass extinction period. आप समझिए 5 मास एक्सटिंक्शन पीरियड में पूरी पृथ्वी पर 90% लोग मर गए थे. नॉट लोग, पूरी ह्यूमन तो थे ही नहीं. बायोमास, मरीन लाइफ कभी 75%, कभी 90% पूरी नष्ट हो गई थी. फिर से रेजिलिएंट कितना जबरदस्त था. हम वो समझते हैं कि हाउ द resilience of the earth is. And if we are now leading, because last mass extinction period was 65 million years. It was astronomical event and it was geological event, volcanic eruptions and the meteoritic impact that has vanished the dinosaurian life and other reptiles. But now, how we came with the mammals evolutions, okay, and now with the study, geological study, paleoscience study, we come to know, yes, we are now, as far as the geochemical study is concerned, we are now leading to the next mass extinction period. How we will actually survive, how this human will survive, how this earth will be survived, इसका क्वेश्चन हम दे सकते हैं. क्योंकि हम ये मिलियंस ईयर को छोड़ करके हम हजारों साल में आते हैं, जो साइकिल रिपीट होता है. बिकॉज मिलियन ईयर्स बैक, 100 million years back, no human was there, but climate changed. Okay, 500 million years back, no human was there, climate was changed. Climate is still changing. Not only we are not the only culprit, but we are exaggerating the process. Common geological and climatic process are exaggerated by humans. So we have to understand how we are giving inputs for the climate change, global warming, putting carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, okay, and that too we are injecting more and more other hazardous material into the soil and water, into the oceans. So that is what my scientists are giving the ideas and our outcome, that you have to break somewhere, and these are the remedies.
So as you tell me about all these kind of things, I can see that you have been a fragile protector of ecosystem. So can you please tell me why it is dangerous to open time capsules publicly, time capsule of nature publicly? Why it is going to be dangerous for public?
What do you mean by time capsule?
Time capsules of nature, of ecosystem. If you open it publicly, why it's going to be so dangerous?
Open it publicly, I don't understand ki time capsule open. I mean, you just give me in a very simple language.
So it means if everybody know everything about geography and about tectonics and these kind of steps about the nature, why
Okay.
it's going to be very dangerous?
It's not dangerous. Any common man must understand what you are and where we are going. If it is not, then he or she or any species on the earth, humans group, they are going to degrade the environment. Okay, because we are, without understanding, we are also adopting AIs, other technologies, other high profile technologies. Okay, then we are not asking anybody why you are adopting this technology, why you are adopting the mobiles, why adopting many other systems. Okay, you are not asking anybody. But when the scientist used to give the knowledge that this is the earth where you are at a very great risk, okay, why not to give these time capsules to them? Okay, you got my point. We have to see. I can give you one small example if time permits, like because it is my personal experience in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. When I went after the tsunami, and after the tsunami study, I went to Galatia Bay, so southernmost our Indira Point ke pehle. During 24 tsunami, okay, two of the scientists working on the turtles in the Galatia Bay is very famous for the turtle studies. Two of the scientists working over there, and all of a sudden they saw the entire Galatia Bay is open. 40 meters, 50 meters of the bay is open. He could see, or they could see the beautiful corals and fish. Everything is open. Pani chala gaya. He could not understand why water has receded for 40 to 50 meters. Why? He could not understand. And within few seconds, maybe half a minute, the tsunami came. He should have been taught that the tsunami कैसे जाती है, इसका ये पहला मॉडल था. दोनों मर गए, वहाँ फोटो थी दोनों की. But I moved to the Jarawa reserve areas, Ungis, not a single Jarawa, not a single Ungi. There are 6 different ethnic groups are there in Andaman Nicobar Island. Not a single Ungi, not a single Jarawa died. Just before the tsunami in the morning, okay, before that morning, that means night before, they had gone to the higher regions. Why? How did they sense that tsunami is going to come? Not a single elephant died, but thousands of people died in Sri Lanka. Not a single elephant died. So what are we doing? Even with the science, are we really understand? Do we really understand what the science is, and what the life system is, and what the earth is?
Sir, what your thoughts on water crisis, as you have studied geological thus far? So upcoming water crisis and water shortage, what is your thought on that?
See, water crisis is inevitable. You cannot now avoid it, okay, because the entire total water of the world, okay, we are living on 1% of water, and that 1% is stored in the rivers, groundwater, and the glaciers, and polar ice. That entire thing is only 1%. So that is our fresh water. So out of that 1% of fresh water, 99% of the water is saline. We cannot use it. So around 40,000 years from now, we were only 10 lakh, 1 million people. Okay, and today we are 8,000 million. Our population is increasing every day, every second. 8,000 मिलियन 8 बिलियन पीपल है आज हम, और वो पहले भी उतना ही पानी था, आज भी उतना ही पानी है 40,000 साल पहले। मैं 40,000 की बात भी नहीं करूंगा, अभी कुछ सदियों पहले जो पॉपुलेशन थी, इससे आज 100 गुना ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन है। पानी वही सोर्स है, जितना सोर्स है वो भी हमने बिगाड़ दिया है, पोल्यूटेड कर लिया है। हमारी रिवर्स, गंगा है या कोई भी गोदावरी, कोई भी रिवर है, सब ने हमको पॉल्यूट कर दिया है। जो पानी पीने लायक है उसको भी पॉल्यूट कर दिया है। वाटर क्राइसिस इज इनएविटेबल। वी आर गोइंग टू हैव, मे बी पीपल यूज्ड टू से द थर्ड वर्ल्ड वॉर विल बी ऑन वाटर। ओके, सो वी एज अ जियोलॉजिस्ट, एज अ इकोलॉजिस्ट, एज अ साइंटिस्ट और एज अ कॉमन मैन, we have to understand the value of water. Okay, in day-to-day use, we can change our habits. One thing. Second thing, as a hydrogeologist, we have to give a management how to use those water which we have. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है, हम समंदर के पानी को भी हम डिसैलिनेशन कर सकते हैं। आज पूरा गल्फ कंट्रीज, यूएई और अरेबिया कैसे यूज करता है पानी को, समंदर के पानी को डिसैलिनेशन करते हैं और पानी को यूज करते हैं। तो ये टेक्निक हम ढूंढ लेते हैं, हमने ढूंढ, लेकिन हमको बहुत सारा एनर्जी देना पड़ता है। उसमें पेट्रोल का भी दहन होता है, इसमें सोलार का भी हम यूज करते हैं, विंड पावर को यूज करते हैं, तभी हम पानी को मीठा कर पाते हैं। तो वी विद द ह्यूमन हैज द टेक्नोलॉजी टू कम्बैट एनी काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशंस। ठीक है, एयर कंडीशनिंग हम चला लेते हैं, कभी 50 डिग्री बाहर तापमान होगा तो हम अंदर 20 डिग्री में बैठ सकते हैं। तो वी हैव द टेक्नोलॉजी, बट दिस टेक्नोलॉजी एज bitter fruits also. Okay, so we have to understand the value of water.
Thank you, sir. You have told most of the thing about the geoscience. I want to ask you one question, as you have teachers and guided lots of dozens of PhD students. So what's the piece of advice and motivation you want to give to the upcoming young generation who want to study about the science, who want to enter in the world of science?
Very simple message, which actually in entire interview I used to say many times. The simple message is to respect our planet. Simple message. The respect to our planet or any simple element of the planet, which is the earth, the mitti, okay, hawa, okay, हवा को भी रिस्पेक्ट करना है, पानी, ओके, पृथ्वी, पानी, वायु, अग्नि। अग्नि मतलब ये हीट आती है, चाहे सूरज से आती है, चाहे हम पैदा करते हैं, और आकाश। ये 5 तत्व है, इनका अगर रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करेंगे तो रिस्पेक्ट कैसे करना है वो आप सबको समझना है। इट इज एवरीथिंग इज रिटन इन आवर ऑल स्क्रिप्चर्स, और अथर्ववेदा और यजुर्वेदा और भागवता और महाभारत, गीता में सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है। हमने कभी पढ़ा नहीं है। नई पीढ़ी को मैं ये बताऊंगा कि आप ये पढ़िए, गीता को इन डेप्थ पढ़िए, आपको सब चीज़ों का सॉल्यूशन, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट का सॉल्यूशन मिल जाएगा। हम जो कुछ करते सस्टेनेबल नहीं है। हर चीज में हम प्लास्टिक का उपयोग करते हैं। मैंने अभी बोला था कि हमारे बॉडी में इतना बिस्फेनॉल है कि हम कभी न कभी, और ऑल ऑफ अ सडन व्हाई वी गॉट द हार्ट अटैक, व्हाई एवरी 4th पर्सन वी गॉट कैंसर, वो कैंसर एकदम से हो गया। अरे मैंने तो सोचा ही नहीं था, तो उसको कैसे कैंसर होगा। बट एवरी डे वी आर गिविंग दैट कैंसरस एलिमेंट्स इन आवर बॉडी। आपको कौन सी सब्जी खाते हैं पता नहीं है, कितना अंदर पेस्टिसाइड्स है हमको पता नहीं है। तो ये सब चीजें हम हमेशा करते आए हैं। तो आप पूरी कम्युनिटी, फ्यूचर जनरेशन को मैं ये बताऊंगा कि आप सबका रिस्पेक्ट कीजिए, हम पूरी पृथ्वी का रिस्पेक्ट कीजिए, उससे सब कुछ आ गया। हमारी घर में जो माता है या पिता है, इनका रिस्पेक्ट तो करना ही है, लेकिन हमारी धरती माता का जब रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करेंगे तब सब कुछ उलट पुलट होना है, क्योंकि हमारे पास रिजिलेंट पावर शायद कम होगा, पृथ्वी के पास सब कुछ है, क्योंकि 5 मास एक्सटिंक्शन पीरियड से पृथ्वी बच के आ गई है। पृथ्वी हैज अ रेजिलिएंट पावर, हमको मार के भी वो रेजिलिएंट बनेगी, दूसरी प्रजाति पैदा करेगी। तो हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा। नई जनरेशन को बहुत बहुत बड़ी सीख देना चाहते हैं हम इसी के जरिए। एकदम माइक्रो फ्रंट लेवल की सीख मैं नहीं दे सकता कि भी पिज्ज़ा बंद करो, आप ऐसे कोई फूड बंद कर दीजिए कि जिससे आपकी पूरी सिस्टम बिगड़ जाए। तो ऐसी बहुत सारी सीख है जो अब हम यहाँ, क्योंकि लंबा कहानी बनेगा, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ इतना बोलूँगा कि हमारी पृथ्वी माता को रिस्पेक्ट कीजिए।
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Mahesh G. Thakkar sir, for telling us your experience and sharing us with your valuable time and expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you.